Welcome to part two. We're just waiting for Andy from up north in Scotland to cling on, to log on. Don't know where he is. Where are you, Andy, lad? Yeah, so what do you think to Adam Castro and Bricktop? Because it's done my head in that, you know. I don't like to see out like that. I don't like to see out like that. Like I said, Bricktop tried it with me, didn't he, on phone, but he won't fucking try it in person. I won't have that. And you know that, don't you, old Din Ted? You know what I mean? But it is what it is, isn't it? But I don't agree with that. I don't like to see it like that. And then people that were around it, the ones that caused it, you know, the stirrers, the ones that have been found out. Oh, yeah, we know they are. The ones that cling on to people. Have you noticed lately, how Eddie's got more lickers around him than ever? But yeah, recently, they all seem to be leaving him, don't they? Hey, that's what happens. One day you cock of the walk, the next day you're a John Fury, aren't you? A feather duster man, one stoppage in 13 fights, pop, pop, bang. And that were an injury. So he's hardly any shavers, is he? Do you know what I mean? But yet on hard road, he's had 100 fights and 100 by way off. Hey, you couldn't make it up. We've now got the man running 10 kilometers in 55 minutes. That means he'd be running at the same pace as what Eddie Hearn does, them 5 kilometer runs for Matchroom. So if Eddie's doing them 5 kilometer runs in half that time, John's keeping it up for another 5K and at the same pace, which tells me that it's pure and utter rubbish. Because I know what Tyson used to run them times in a few years back. And his father's not a 55-minute, 10 kilometer man. His dad probably wouldn't even be able to walk 10 kilometers. People see a 30-second clip on Instagram and all of a sudden they think that the man's Iron Man. Oh, he's training for Iron Man with John. 200 kilo deadlift with Corey. You know what I mean? That Corey lift 150 kilo when he got out of jail. It's 200 now. You know what I mean? Pop, pop, bang. Matt Kelly sent a question and he says, do I think that, the commission, do we feel that Callum Smith, is being very inactive due to Eddie Hills messing them about? What do you think to that? Although his manager's Paul Reddy in it now.
He's been inactive due to Eddie Hills messing him about. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what people are saying in the comment section. They're saying old creative from that film Grease. You know, that goes out with that Rizzo in Greece. Thunder, is it, what do they call them? The Thunderbirds or what? I don't know what they're called. They've got it's
Pink Ladies, is it?
Hey, Pink Ladies. No, that's the
Pink
women.
Ladies.
What do they call them? With black levers. He's one of Scorpions.
Scorpions, huh?
He's got fire breathing car, hasn't he, and all that knacker. He went face to face, isn't it? Well, anyway, him face like a bag of spanners. That's Callum Smith, isn't it? Well, Callum Smith's inactive, isn't it, due to Eddie Hills? That's what they're saying in the comment section. What do you think?
I think Eddie Hills has kept a lot of fighters inactive over the time. I think he single-handedly stagnated the heavyweight division all that time with Joshua, like blocking, using blockers like Louis Ortiz and the like. But I think he's done that throughout a lot of things. You know, we're always wanting these fights to be made, and never ever happen. I think it's down to him more than Bricktop. You know, I know they're working together now, but that's because they have to, because there's that much money involved. But I think it's Eddie. He's like a big spoiled kid, isn't he? If he doesn't get it his way, it's not happening, sort of thing.
Yeah. You won't remember this, but when Froch done Groves, right? I know people go, "Oh, he's on about Froch again," but this involves Eddie Hills, so we're getting in line with script. When Froch put Groves on Button Moon, right? As far as the Cobra were concerned, I don't need to rematch him. I put him on Button Moon. But anyway, Groves went running, didn't he, to Lindsay Tucker, paid his 20 grand, didn't he, to them at New Jersey. And he got the rematch. Eddie were trying to get in touch with Cobra, but he was in Dubai. Anyway,
Right.
when he eventually got in touch with him, he had loads of missed calls and that. He actually thought that he'd signed for Bricktop while he were ignoring his calls. And Carl's got, I'm on holiday in Dubai. He's going, I thought you signed with Frank because Bricktop were putting it about, wanting back, trying to get some. No, and you know
Eddie,
what? You've got to look at that and think, well, if Eddie thought
insecure,
that about
eh?
him, then he couldn't have really trusted him, could he? And why,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Kind of thing. They beat Booty and Usyk, Mack, and blah de blah, and they had like up to Groves rematch. They had 6 fights up to going into the rematch, so they had 7 fights together. So they had 6 fights together, and Eddie thinks he's done dirty on him and gone to Bricktop. It just shows you how Eddie doesn't trust anybody, doesn't it? Really.
Insecure Eddie, eh? Insecurities and.
Well, maybe he were insecure then, I don't know, or maybe he was just
Yeah.
desperate for payday. But either way, Carl ended up getting Groves more money than he was entitled to on that. He got another 10% out of that job. So that's not bad, that is it, really? He gave Kessler 10% more than he were willing to accept, just smooth.
Yeah.
So all that
just to get the job, just to get the fight.
He might be frugal and careful when he goes and buys a bag of cement to do a path or something, or whatever he does with building stuff, but I think he was pretty benevolent with Groves and Kessler. There's been a few like that who he's fought and he's been right with, just to get the fights on. And if you look at that run of fights, and I keep banging on about it, people who are listening to me, right, who don't understand what I'm talking about, go and look at Carl Froch's CV, right? Go and look. 21 title fights in it altogether. But go and look at it, right? And go and look at fight after fight after fight and what them guys went on to do. Go and look and what those guys went on to do and what they had done. It's freakishly unbelievable. It's went under the radar for so long. And I bang on about it now, and I'm glad he's in Hall of Fame. I feel like I was his trainer, banging on about it for that long.
Yeah.
Honestly.
He's
under. I feel like, because McCracken hardly said "boo" to a ghost, did he? I mean, you could tell him a really funny joke, McCracken, and I don't even know if you might get a wry little smile out of it. You know what I mean?
Lift an eyebrow or something.
Right poker face on him, had a big Hearn. Imagine him being a really cool poker player or a really good pool player, pots 3 reds and then snookers you. Do you know what I mean? You imagine him being like that, a bit dry and that.
But he's maybe got a dry sense of, I don't know, maybe he's maybe got a dry sense of humour. I know a few folk like that.
No, McCracken, right? This is how I look at it, right? He was there from 01, from him being an amateur to going pro with me, all the way through. They even lived together, didn't they, McCracken and Carl, for years in London. He's gone all that way, and Cobra's giving him 10% all the way through, even to Big Dough. So you've got to take
that's loyalty, yeah.
You've got to take your hat off, mate. He did it properly. He did it his way, the Cobra. You've got to take your hat off to that, mate. Groves didn't. He'd had different trainers and all sorts. James DeGale, he went all the way through. I don't know what he paid Jimmy Mack, but I know Cobra paid 10% all the way through. Not like Tony Bellew.
No. What was his story?
He was getting Caldwell 25 grand a fight in Bellew. 25 grand a fight, eh? Well, he have 4 pay-per-views.
So he's been raking it, hasn't he? And Carl's he's a sound guy, I've even got there he is there, not kill.
What do you see happening with he's always that picture here. What do you see happening with that Zhang? That big chinky dude. What do you see happening with him?
I think he'll be avoided, eh? He's a danger man, eh? I think he'll be avoided. He's a danger man. I don't think he'd wait. I think he's waited before with Big Meat. Do
you think they're going to park him up on his Zhang, like they did all?
That's a possibility. Yeah. He's under Bricktop's banner, isn't he? So Bricktop hasn't really parked up many heavyweights. I mean, he let Joyce and Dubois fight each other, didn't he? And I couldn't see Eddie Hills doing that if he had 2 heavyweights letting them fight each other. I don't think he's ever done that, has he? But no, I think Bricky, you'll see Zhang out again. But I'm trying to think, I don't know who. Zhang Bacoli would be a good fight, wouldn't it? Two big, massive, tough guys, eh?
Yeah. Do you know now that they're fighting? Sorry, now that they're all working together and all being best buddies. You know, we've got Bricktop at the top of the on his perch. We've got Eddie there tossing him off, and we've got all them others. We've got all them other lickers like Calla and all them dancing to Bricktop's tune. Now he's the man out there in Saudi. Do you think that there's a twist in the tail with this Saudi? Because let's just back up not so long. We remember Tyson Fury saying "well done" to Daniel Kinahan for making the Joshua fight, don't we? Right.
Yeah.
And the Tyson Fury fight. Now that all fell through, and the governments came down on him heavy, and there were lots of press and all that. Now all of a sudden, are we supposed to believe that these people have gone away? Because I'm not having that. I've got something going on in my head. My porky sense is tingling, and do you know what I'm thinking, Andy? The MTK are behind all this with Saudis. But nobody dare say a word. But they all know. What do you think to that? Or have I said something I shouldn't have done then? If I have, and somebody's got some knackers, I'm not hard to find. My studio's bang opposite Junior Witter's gym. Pop, pop, bang.
That's an interesting observation. I never even thought of that. Like,
they're not going to put all that money into them and then just walk away. Listen,
yeah,
what you've got to understand with this, I'm coming to the main bit here, kids, so let me have the floor. Don't be mumbling in on me here. Right, let me just say that.
I'll get my gaffer tape out.
Well, then, let me just say this, Andy, right? They've, obviously, they're from, I'm not saying they've been dragged up, Kinnerans, but they're from a rough area, aren't they? They've gone on to billionaire status, haven't they, right? So, whatever chosen profession they've got involved in, whether it be crime or whatever, the winners, aren't they? They like to be best, right? Do you think people that are going to get to that height, achieve what they've achieved, are just going to let somebody like a small niche sport like boxing that sell Fisherman's Weekly, as it sells more copies per month or per week or something than boxing magazine? Yeah. So are we led to believe that the Kinnerans are just going to walk away because they've been told to by certain people who can't even prosecute them? No, they're just going to do it smarter. And I think what they've done, because they're out there, aren't they, out there? They've just been smarter, that's what I think, and kept the names out of it. I mean, Kinneran even admitted, didn't he? And Bob Arum said that he was charging 250 grand a fight to Bob Arum. Bob Arum came out and said the invoice was 50. You know, when they all, because they all had to have interviews, didn't they, about everything? And he's going, oh, well, I was giving him $250,000 consultancy fees on 4 separate occasions. So Kinneran's had $1 million for negotiating for Tyson. So are we led to believe that this guy, whoever, what they're saying he is, even though he's not been in trouble, are we led to believe this guy's just going to walk away and take it on chin, even though he's not been convicted about? No, these people are winners. They're just going to hang about and do it properly and be discreet and learn from it. And that's what I think. And I think skills challenge, right? I think they were the bait to draw Eddie in, because Eddie worked with him, didn't he, for a couple of fights, didn't he? Right?
Yeah.
And what's happened since then? They've pulled out, haven't they? But I think all that what's saying carry on, and I just think they've got Eddie hard at way and then move them in, because Eddie's took the bait, got his bit. But Fury and Frank are in there now. They're doing the business, aren't they? And Eddie's like on back foot, isn't he? I think they set him up. Really, I think they all set him up. All of them set him up and made him look foolish, because once skills challenge pulled out, it was game, set, a match for Frank, wasn't it then? He knew he would concede, didn't he? Because they'd burnt the bridges or whatever they'd done, it had broke down and they were on back foot, weren't they? They had to come back. What we're going to do now? What we're going to do now? Now they've gone out there. It's like Eddie's auditioning to work for Frank, isn't it? That's how it looks, doesn't it? Let me just go to that. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question. I'll just go for a Pete. John Fury.
Bricktops. Sorry, carry on.
John Fury says he's done 10-kilometer run on TikTok. You've seen it, 55 minutes, right? Eddie says he does 5 kilometers in 22 minutes. So John's kept that pace up for another 5. And I've seen Eddie running actually on a video. And John must be some athlete. Let me just have a pee. What do you think of that, Andy?
Aye, that's. I'm trying to think what it took me to do. The last 10K run I did, I kept picking up injuries, so I had to slow down. It took me about. I think it took me about an hour. The last 10K run I did, but I wasn't doing regular. I was just doing just enough training to do that. But if he's doing it in 55 minutes, that's fast for a big guy his size, because big guys generally don't run as fast as lighter guys. But Eddie's quite a big guy, I know, but he's leaner. What's he doing? 22 minutes for 5K. That's decent times. Was it 3.1 mile in 22 minutes? So he's just over 7 minutes a mile, isn't he? So, but
Mate, you couldn't run for
that's
a
good going.
bus.
Couldn't he run for?
You couldn't run for a bus, mate. Have you seen the size of him? He's 24.
That's what I'm saying. The last time I did it, the last time I did a 10K, I was probably about 14 stone or something like that, and it took me an hour. And before that, I could do it in 45 minutes. It was probably the quickest I done a 10K. But the last time I did one, and he's a lot older than me. He's nearly 20 years older than me, or whatever he is.
I don't know who it was, but somebody's supposed to have sent one of the comments in. They're going on about, I've seen Shane Fury fight and I've seen Max fight and blah blah blah, and having a dig at Max or something.
Right.
Or having a dig at Max or something about Big Shane. So I asked, have you seen Big Shane fight? He said, I've seen them both fight. Well, listen, mate, I don't know who you are. Email me. If you've seen Big Shane Fury fight, send me footage, mate. Because I keep hearing all these roadman stories about him, but nobody's seen him have a fight. He's a big 25 stone, 6'6" bloke. And when you're 25 stone and you're carrying all that flab around with you and you're 6'6", you're hardly going to be Pernell Whitaker, are you?
No.
Max is about 19, Clem, and he's not body beautiful, but everybody's seen Max fight. Max has turned up for cage fights at lot. Shane had the opportunity to fight Max the breadcrumb, and he didn't turn up at Mickey Fio's car wash. Sat there all day waiting. He didn't turn up. Him or his father. All right? So I don't know who this bloke is, right? But send me footage. All right? Yeah, you've seen Max fight. You haven't seen Shane fight because nobody's seen him fight because he never had a fight.
I think he said he was an interview I watched with him, and he said he's never had a fight, or he doesn't fight. He's
never had a fight in his life.
He's never had a fight. I'm sure he said that.
Jeez, he's never had a fight in his life, but this guy's on comments saying, you haven't seen him fight. Stop fantasizing, unless it's you,
He's just winding Mark. Mark seems to take the bait, and I've noticed in the comment section he keeps arguing with people saying about him.
Just ignore
it. Just ignore it.
They're just jealous, Max, because you're a pro boxer.
Because he's got a Benny hat.
Yeah, Benny from Crossroads, Max.
Good old Mark says a good lad.
So listen, but all these. What it is, you get a platform. We've got these platforms, aren't they? But John Fury were like a mouse when he come out of jail. Now all of a sudden, there's this 100 and no hard man on hardcore, and he's been to Spain for weekends and been in orgies, bags of drugs, bottles of whiskey, loads of wrestlers, and he's turned into this like fucking Romeo playboy. When really he's just a bloke. Listen, I'm not being. I'll tell you, I've seen John Fury, right, in real life, obviously, several times, and he's just a bloke that looks to me like when he gets up in the morning, he gets dressed, it's something that somebody's given him, or he's nicked out one of his rooms. No, fits him, does it? He don't look a picture about. You won't believe you're only a couple of years older than me, would you? Right, this is how I look at it, right? He's gone from being this quiet man who'll come out of jail, tiptoeing around like a mouse. This killer, did you see him hitting that perspex? I said to my little lad here, says, right, obviously my little lad's he's got autism, but they tell truth, don't they? So I said, what do you think to that? He said, where's he escaped from? we're straight face. We were in jail with him as well, Dad. No, I want in jail with him. That's John Fury, that. Who's he?
The future Manchester Mayor.
Why has he gone mad? Dad, why has he gone mad? He's trying to get at that bloke with that witnessing way. Well, they tell the truth, don't they? Well, you can imagine me asking any questions like that. I was rolling around that floor. Only regret is I didn't zoom it. His man would have gone berserk, but
I've just realised I said something wrong there because I said he's 20 years older than me. He's not 20 years older than me. he's only about 8 years older than me.
60.
I've just realised I'm older than I thought I was. I'm nearly 52, right? So.
Yeah. Well, Mickey Theo's 60, right? His birthday's a couple of days before me. He's 60. John's 60 in May.
Right.
So
if they're ever going to get at it, all these guys, if they're going to be having fights, they better have it soon, or they'll fight with Zimmer frames. If any of these guys are ever going to have fights, they better have it soon before they're drawing their pension.
Listen, they both could have fought. Him and Mick could have fought, both of them.
Yeah,
they both could have fought quite easily, but Mick wanted pain, and that basically they went from wanting it to putting posters up. They both wanted it. Spencer Brown,
yeah,
to not wanting it. So Spencer Brown's gone from putting on Mickey Theo and John Fury that collapsed to putting on Usyk and Tyson, which looks like, according to you, was going to go through. So in that contrast, so does that tell you that Tyson's got bigger knackers than his dad?
Basically,
yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does.
Tyson's got big balls.
That's one thing about him. He's got the balls. He's got a fighting heart in him. Well, as his Wilder. When you see that Wilder would fight to the death. I think you've got to say the same about Tyson as well. He's got a heart of a lion when he is actually fighting. It's just getting the fights on. But he's up against Usyk, I think.
Yeah,
he's got, if he's beating Usyk, he's got to be at the very top of his game to beat Usyk, I think. If he's able to hurt Usyk, he's able to hurt him, but nobody else has managed really, have they? And as for they're making his jibes about the Dubois fight, for me that was a low blow. Initially when I first seen it, I thought it was borderline, but after watching it again, it is a low blow. It's like he punched him in the bladder or something like that, isn't it? Everybody's under the misconception it has to be hitting the nuts for it to be a low blow, but that's not the case at all.
Yeah, it's well, Holyfield's come out and Holyfield were asked about Tyson's antics at that presser, and Holyfield's a legend, isn't he? But you could see even he was embarrassed. But he says Fury is going to struggle against Usyk because Usyk's faster and he throws more.
Yeah.
It's like going in against like a Calzaghe, isn't it? Like he's fast and he throws punches and he's got movement and he's a southpaw. Usyk's like a modern day Calzaghe, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like a big Calzaghe and he never stops moving, does he? He's always moving in and out. And Fury would try to swat a fly in some respects. He will have success, Fury, but I don't. He's like I say, he's got to be at the top of his game if he's going to have enough success to beat
it's not going to happen, mate. It ain't going to happen. If it does happen, Fury is going to be saying to himself, "I'm getting a lot of money here. Sorry, if I get beat, this money is going to cushion me blow, and I've got the rematch." Or the closer it gets, his mind's going to be ticking over because he can't budge this guy mentally. He comes to fight. He's beat everybody since he was 10-year-old. So how's he going to beat him?
I don't think Fury's under any misconceptions about the challenge ahead, though, because I think I watched an interview with him and he said he's not going to have the Christmas he expected to have, so he knows he's going to have to knuckle down right through Christmas, isn't he? So
you see Fury beating Usyk?
It's a tough one, eh? If he's at his very best, he can maybe beat him, but I just think Usyk's probably one of the best boxers I've seen, like ever. I think and for Johnny Nelson to say he's not a great southpaw, I remember that comment. Fair play to Bean.
Well, when Bellew were technically better than him.
Aye.
What?
Bean was having none of that, though, was he? Bean was he stood his ground on that opinion, didn't he? He spoke his mind there. He wasn't playing any
Johnny tries to be like, listen, Johnny tries to be different. Look, Johnny and
controversial.
Bean, they had it going for years, mate. Listen, I'll say this, you say this, and we'll create a bit of hype, and so fans are going, oh God, we don't know who's going to win this because the worst thing that promoters and TV platforms want to do is give fans the impression that, well, this is a knockover. They're always knockovers at press run. I'm going to knock you out. You shit, you shit. But when you hear the promoters talk, they're going, God, this is a tough fight. And Dave Allen's really up for this, and he's really durable. Rough, tough. You know when commentators say he's
Ready for liftoff.
durable, he's rough and tough. I remember Tom Little getting into fights somebody and getting put on bottom moon. Before he got in the ring, they were saying, Tom Little's a capable man. And they were saying, yeah, Tom Little is he is still a man, but he is first man on the moon. Button moon. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's capable of getting to button moon in about 4 minutes flat. Well, it's right, isn't it? You know, yeah. Well, the blue torch paper has been laid. Welcome to the blue ribbon division. And then after the fight, there's the respect.
A cacophony of noise.
A cacophony of noise. Durable. All action. Compelling.
Where is he now, Where is he now?
I'll tell you where he is now. Bean. Runner bean, could have been, should have been, never been, baked bean, creepy bean, beanie. Or Rumpelstiltskin. We still love you and we're on to you, though.
He's in the bean. He's in the
Well,
bean.
Rumpelstiltskin. Well, I hope he's all right, Rumpel, but I don't want to see you near boxing ever again, Bean. No offence, but your time is up. Come in, number 9.
He's maybe in the Gad cave.
The taxi is waiting in the back for you, Bean. You what?
He's maybe in the Gad cave.
Look, Bean had his moment. He had 28 years. When he were riding high, he thought he was cock of the walk. It went a bit pear-shaped for him, and that's that. It's just in what happened to Bean happens to people in everyday life. They don't feel sorry for us when it happens, so why should I feel sorry for Bean? Do you know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
I don't feel sorry for him. He's had it off there. He's had millions out of job at Sky, him. Millions and all other little perks that go here, all them MC gigs he's had. He's had a lot of them.
He's had a good run.
Him and Horsecock. You know what I mean? Horsecock's done well out of job, hasn't he? Let's have it right.
Horsecock, MBE, Horsecock.
Horsecock's got them all dancing to his tune, even his tailor.
Suit you, sir.
Horsecock gets everywhere, doesn't he? He's like this legendary guy. Hey?
The legend of Horsecock.
I want to know if Horsecock's going to marry Anna Woolhouse.
But I think at the moment, Bricktop's Lord of the Dance, so isn't he? Everybody's dancing to his tune, aren't they?
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen, Andy, if they can't get the Eubank Ben fight on because they were doing the rounds around the campfire? Is they're struggling to get it on at UK?
Is there something about Kell Brook coming out to fight Eubank now?
Well, everybody around here is saying that Kell Brook's ticking over, and there's no fighting. I don't believe it, but if Kell Brook is ticking over, fair enough. But if he's ticking over, it's not with the Flexinator. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's not with Big Flex. Big Flex, Dick.
Big Flex.
A finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. A finger of fudge is just enough until it's time for Flex to eat. It's full of Ingle goodness. Very small and neat. A finger of fudge is just enough to give our Dom a treat.
Is he training anybody these days?
I don't think he's training anybody, is he? Only 25 stone accountants.
Taking some money out of them.
I like that cookbook he's done. And until somebody said to me, Dominic Ingle's cookbook copied off another cookbook but worded differently. And I thought, I felt a bit let down over that. So, but it's actually quite good. I've actually done a couple of days on it myself and I had loads of energy. So I would listen to him regarding nutrition, whether there is ideas or not. He's pretty shrewd he's pretty clued up on stuff like that. And all that about walking around with a stick of celery, yeah. You know, when we're hungry, we're pulling at petrol station, fill up, and then while we're queuing, we grab a Snicker, don't we, in sale. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, minstrels.
Flex is too dedicated for that. He's walking around in that body warmer he's had on donkey's years, and he's also got a stick of celery in his mouth all day. But that celery, what it does, it flushes out toxins and kills fat cells, in your body and that. So it's something good to eat. And also, when you eat a stick of celery, this is what I think he said. If you're hungry and you have a stick of celery, it takes your hunger pain away. You only need a couple of bites of it. You know what I mean? Because it's not something that you take to the cinema to watch a film, is it? But Dom does. If you went to watch Rocky 29 pictures and Tony Bellew, in Zimmer frame with Rocky, and you were there with your kids, you'd be sat at front, wouldn't you, with a big, massive, giant box of Haribos, wouldn't you? Behind you, Rex in his body warmer, shaved head, manky teeth, and celery, wouldn't they? He'd be saying things like, just freeze and force, go steady, his timing's out, look at him. Freeze and force. That's all it says. His timing's out. Look at the state of him. You beat him easy. Stick to your boxing. Double your job. Fuck you, no. Do me a favour, Flex.
Has he got a recipe in his cookbook for homemade fudge?
Oh yeah. There's one thing our Flex knows about, and that is fudge. He loves a bit of fudge.
He's a fudge specialist. Huh?
Well, that's why he's known as the Fudgeinator.
The fudge.
What do you think to Chantel Cameron against Katie Taylor, and which one would you take out for a pint if you were a single man?
Probably Chantel Cameron. I think it's going to be the same result. Might even be a late stoppage.
Just out for a pint, right? Because I love going out with women that have got bent, broken noses. It's right appealing on eye, isn't it?
Right, chasing parked cars.
Well, she's the same height as me, so people think she won't be mind her. She's the same height and walks around at the same weight, but I won't take any of them out. They won't get in mine. No. I won't have them in my car. Do me a favour.
No. I think she's going to win again, though.
She want to look cool, is she? And other ones, she's better looking than Katie Taylor, but I couldn't take a box of her out, mate. Imagine if you had a fallout with her. You'd be rolling about on the floor, wouldn't you? Knocking lumps out. How would you deal with it? Walking around with a shiner. Oh, Gidget shiner on me bird. Yeah, all right. What, you going out with a boxer, Porky? Yeah, you must be into all that, are you? Oh, I'm not into all that, no. No, but I am a Chantel Cameron. Look, all joking aside, I'm a Chantel Cameron fan. And I hope she puts Katie Taylor on button moon. But somehow, I think, with Eddie being up back foot, I think the fix is in, and they're going to shaft that girl, and they're going to get a one out of it. Yeah, because there ain't nobody to challenge her. They're running out of dance partners, and I think she's going to get shafted on points. It'll either be a draw or a Katie Taylor win. That's my opinion. But Chantel Cameron's team will know that, and they'll know, look, you're going to need a knockout this time because Eddie's on back foot. So get ready. So we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm so get your money on Taylor on points.
I thought the first fight was quite one-sided. I thought I didn't really justify a rematch. I thought the first fight was pretty one-sided. I thought Cameron won it clearly.
That's why she's going to have to come with something different. And if she don't, she might get took out. But I think they might try and rob that poor lass from Kettering.
Yeah, Taylor's not. I don't think Taylor's big enough for her. She's not big enough, no strong enough.
That I forgot that. Is it? What was that girl's name? Who beat her twice, and they give it other decision. I forgot her name now.
Oh, we give Taylor a decision.
Was she German or something?
Oh, I can't remember. Can't remember the name.
Either way, when it were, she got flogged by her, didn't she? Twice.
She's had a few gifts, hasn't she? No.
Hey.
She's had a few gift decisions, I think, hasn't she?
A
few close fights.
Many gift decisions as Sven Otka.
Sven,
the Phantom. Why do you think they called her the Phantom? Because when the fans wanted to kill him after fights, after he was robbing people blindly, at least it taping more a mark. The fans wanted to kill him; they could never find him. So that's why they called him the Phantom.
Vanished into the night.
Yeah, exactly, mate. That's what happened. Well, we know, mate. We know. Delphine Persoon, that girl's name.
Delphine Persoon.
Yeah. and it was a mandatory decision and a unanimous. But let me tell you this: Katie Taylor got done in both them fights. Let me tell you, got done in both of them.
It's like the second big meat Usyk fight. They tried to rob Usyk on the cards. I couldn't believe that. There's no way it was that anything like a split decision. That was a clear win for Usyk. And then I think it was one of them was at a draw or somebody scored it for Joshua. That was shocking. Just should never have been a split decision. That, and then that gives Eddie Hill the narrative. Oh, it was a closer fight. This bullshit. It's too many bad decisions.
What fight was that you on about?
Second Joshua Usyk fight, the rematch.
Well, Eddie's saying, well, he just lost a split to the best fighter in world.
What? Exactly.
He won 5 rounds, didn't he? Out 2 fights.
Aye, that's about right.
Ring Magazine gave him 5 rounds out of 24. So how is he even in mix to go in Usyk? He shouldn't even be dreaming about Usyk.
And the thing is, Eddie's convinced Joshua that he's done a lot better than he has done, and then he has a meltdown, and he'll have another meltdown. Well, he'll not have a meltdown if he fights Wilder, to be unconscious, but I don't think that he's going to get. I see Wilder's done a call out to him today saying how the fight must happen and all between them. He was quite cool and calculated the way he was talking, Wilder, but he seems to be these days. But Wilder spoke well at that conference with a bit of dignity and that. He wasn't shouting and bawling and whatnot, was he? But what he said, everything he said had meaning, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, mate. It did. You're right. It exactly did. Wilder just sat there and he said, look, when I hit guys, the other guys see what I do to them and they don't want to take up the challenge because they think, well, if he catches me, I'm done. And a lot of people say, yeah, but Wilder don't catch you, you're all right. Yeah, but can you go? Can you go 36 minutes, right, at 60 seconds a minute? 36 times 60 seconds. Can you do that without getting hit on that button or that? It's like a traveling nerve, isn't it, on your jaw? You could hit somebody half a punch, but if you get them on that right sweet spot, they're gone.
Or
you could hit them with a massive punch, just another inch to the side of the jaw, and they won't budge. So you've got to. It's all about having like Froch Groves, the second one when he caught it.
Yeah,
caught
cleaned
it
them out.
Perfect, right on edge at jaw, up front. He caught it in the perfect spot. There's only 2 spots on jaw. If you're going to hit it, they tell you where to get it. And he caught it on one of them, which, I don't know, Carl's probably thrown that punch 1,000 times in fights and landed 2 or 3 or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Timed it perfect. And I think he timed it perfect because his camp was so disciplined and his brain was so regimented, because when he sets a goal, Carl, no stops him, like his YouTube channel now. No,
doing well.
He don't quit. There's no quitting him, right? He's a winner. No will stop him getting 200,000 round, but in New Year, and then he'll go from strength to strength. Oh, he does. He wants to be the best at, I can assure you. And he trained like you've never trained before for that growth, the second growth fight. I swear to God, honestly. The first one, he was more approachable and more texting and more how are you doing, and people going around to his house on a night and all that kind of thing. Not all the time, but on the second one, because he were at home, wasn't he, in the week? He were at home, going home every night. But the second Groves one, he wasn't like that Monday to Friday. He were up there in Sheffield and took it serious. Do you know what I mean? And I knew he were going to smash Groves a bit, because I always used to say, well, look, he's even admitted it, hasn't he? That his head were all over the place in that first one. He wanted to smash Groves. And that second one, I just said, well, look at it logically. You didn't really train your best for the fight. You got off to a terrible start and you still stopped him. So imagine what you'd do if you took it even more serious, trained hard and have a good start and be a bit more careful and not you'll knack him and put him on button moon. And he did, didn't it? It's logical, isn't it? Usually, like Mayweather against Castillo, I really give Castillo that fight, by 1 round. But because we've never seen Mayweather lose 5 or 6 rounds, we were shocked. A bit like Callum Smith, John Ryder, because we've never seen Callum Smith lose any rounds. We're all running around saying he won, but really it could have gone either way. But You know, the hardcores had John Ryder winning it, and I did. But if you watch it, really watch it, you'll see that it could have gone either way. But like I said, because Callum had never had that sort of fight, we just assume, well, he's been beat, don't you? That's how, like Fury and Ngannou, isn't it? If you want to look at it like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, first initially when I watched, I think I said to you already, when initially I watched Fury and then I thought we'd be lucky. The best he can hope for is a draw, I thought at the end of it. But when I sat down myself, no volume or anything on the following week and watched it, I think I had Fury winning by a round or maybe 2 rounds. But just a different perspective at the time. But like you said, there was a lot of rounds difficult to score. There wasn't a lot happening in a lot of the rounds. Was there a lot of posturing and that, and no a lot of action all the time.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. I knew we've had a quick 41 minutes.
Good man.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, and I'll speak to you again, young man. Hope you have a great evening. What's left of it, and pop, bang. Cheers.
Be healthy.
Be healthy. Cheers,
Take care.
mate.
All the best. Cheers. Cheers, Russ.
Mate.